Pretty, like, sick move, by the way, just in general, to hold a rally of this size in Texas, a state you're not expected to win at all. I will say, I have gotten a lot of bad news lately, but this is the one bit of good news, because to me it suggests a lot of confidence in Democratic internal polling. To hold it in Houston, rather than, I don't know, somewhere in Pennsylvania, it would lead me to hope, yeah, like Philly or whatever, it would lead me to hope maybe internal polling for the Dems is looking a little rosier than the out there polling, you know?
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my Houston family. I am so proud to be here, back in Houston, with my team and my sister. Welcome to this day, this remarkable, this joyous day. A day, a time, a moment with weight and meaning for our country, for our people. And
The audio is devastatingly bad. Let me see if I can find another.
we are grabbing back the pen.
There we go.
That pen to forge a new path with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We are grabbing back
Waltz.
to write a new American story of community, of equality, strength.
It's the
of
same.
kindness,
It's not the
and
same.
hope. When I was a little girl, and I pledged allegiance to the United States of America.
Kamala's channel is better. Okay, last switch.
To the
Oh,
United States of America.
wow.
That meant something to me.
Looks the same.
That flag meant something to me. And today, that means grabbing that pen and casting my vote, as I already did 2 days ago, for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Now, Houston, you've already had a hand in creating destiny. So do what you do and do this thing again. Let's go.
Off to it.
H-Town. We are so happy to be standing here on this stage as proud country Texas women supporting and celebrating the one and only Vice President Kamala Harris. A woman who's been pushing for what this country really needs right now: unity. It's impossible not to feel the energy in this room, the positivity, the community, the humanity. We are at the precipice of an incredible shift, the brink of history. I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother. A mother who cares deeply about the world my children and all of our children live in. A world where we have the freedom to control our bodies. A world where we're not divided. Our past, our present, our future merge to meet us here. Imagine our daughters growing up seeing what's possible with no ceilings, no limitations. Imagine our grandmothers. Imagine what they feel right now. Those who have lived to see this historic day. Even those who are no longer physically with us. Imagine all of their sacrifice. The sacrifices made so we can witness the strength of a woman standing in her power, reimagining what leadership is. this room and watching around the country, we need you. Your voice has power and magnitude. Your vote is one of the most valuable tools, and we need you. Your freedom is your God-given right, your human right. Everybody say Texas. Texas plays a pivotal role to change the course of our future. Texans and Houstonians from 3rd Ward, River Oaks, Sugarland, 5th Ward, Ailey, Memorial, Southwest Side, North Side, all the way down to Most City.
Just doing a little dance that I can within the camera range that I have.
We all have a role to play to make this a reality. We're all part of something much bigger. We must vote. And we need you. It's time to sing a new song. A song that began 248 years ago. The old notes of downfall, discord, despair no longer resonate. Our generations of loved ones before us are whispering a prophecy, a quest, a calling, an anthem. Our moment right now, it's time for America to sing a new song. Our voices sing a chorus of unity. They sing a song of dignity and opportunity. Are y'all ready to add your voice to the new American song? Because I am. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a big, loud Texas welcome to the next President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh, I thought they were going to bring out Trump. Nice try. You're not copywriting me today. See what a nice full trouser leg does for your silhouette? Well, that's not men's tailoring. It's very different. Yep, that sounds like copyright to me. Is it safe? Okay. I just have to say, pretty, like, sick move, by the way, just in general, to hold a rally of this size in Texas, a state you're not expected to win at all. I will say, I have gotten a lot of bad news lately, but this is the one bit of good news, because to me, it suggests a lot of confidence in Democratic internal polling. Like, to hold it in Houston, rather than, I don't know, somewhere in Pennsylvania... it would lead me to hope, yeah, like Philly or whatever. It would lead me to hope maybe internal polling for the Dems is looking a little rosier than the out there polling, you know?
Welcome. I thank you all so very much. And I thank you, and I thank my friends for reminding us of exactly what we are fighting for in this campaign. We are fighting for freedom.
Freedom, freedom. I know that one.
Freedom. 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 And to Andrea and everyone here tonight whose lives have been impacted by these Trump abortion bans in this moment, I thank you for sharing your stories and for your courage. It is an honor to be here with so many leaders and all of you who have taken the time out of your busy lives to be here this evening so we can, as a community of people, as people who love our country, be clear, sound strong, and stand in favor of the freedom of every woman to make decisions about her own body.
Canceled, excluded trans men, and non-binary people. Joking. Not joking. Joking.
I also want to thank the members of Congress who are here, including Colin Allred. I'm counting on you to send him to the United States Senate so we can get right to work. And to all the elected officials and community leaders, I thank you all. I thank you.
Did I miss something?
I thank you all. I thank you. Officials and community leaders, I thank you all. I thank you.
No, I get that it's MAGA hecklers. I just don't understand why they would only boo after that part. Like, community leaders, that's what you're saving it for? You're gonna get, like, one boo wave before the crowd kicks in, and you get it for that? I don't get it.
See you later. See you later.
Oh, the boos are for the hecklers. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, a lot of hecklers for the boos to get that loud. Hopefully the hecklers were Republicans and not, like, pro-Palestinians.
See? We're not going there.
Probably Republicans.
And we have a lot of work to do. And we have a lot of work to do, and we will not get distracted. We will not get distracted. So listen, Texas, we have 11 days left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime. Voting has already started, and we know this will be a tight race until the very end. Okay.
Ah!
So here's the thing. Okay, so we got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do. And I love that there is so much enthusiasm.
No
Let's
fun
talk
allowed.
about the work we've got to do. Okay. Because we've got 11 days to see this through, and we will win. We will win. We will win.
The protesters are literally chanting Donald Trump. They could be pro-Palestinian.
And we will win because we know and understand what is at stake. We are 11 days out from an election that will decide the future of America, including the freedom of every woman to make decisions about her own body and her reproductive freedom. And everyone here tonight is here because we are about fighting for our future and not letting some people take us back. Because we are not going back. We are not going back.
I, on the other hand, will be right back.
And in America, we know freedom is not to be given. It is not to be bestowed. It is ours by right. And we are prepared to fight for it. Because we understand the stakes, and moving forward, we understand that what we must do, Texas, is right here, you who are ground zero in the fight for reproductive freedom. We must be loud, we must organize, we must mobilize, we must energize the people. Because you all know, Texas is home to one of the most restrictive abortion bans in our country. In Texas, abortion is banned from the moment of conception. You know what? Just send them to that small rally down the street. It'll be fine.
I think Trump's rally is in Michigan.
But that's okay. We'll show them the way. We'll show them the way.
Oh, a rerun? It's a good bit.
Because we know what's at stake and we will not be silenced. We know what's happening here in Texas. Doctors and nurses could go to prison for life simply for providing reproductive care. Think about that. Life in prison for healthcare providers for doing what they think is in their patients' best interests. You know what? The beauty of our campaign is we're fighting for democracy.
So you should really say something to the effect of, if I was Trump, I'm not Trump, I'm not going to threaten to lock you up or something.
What we know here in Texas is that there are some who would distract from the fact that Texas has a law now that offers a cash bounty for turning in someone who merely helps a friend or a family member get the care they need. In Texas, the law provides for prison for life for healthcare providers for doing what they believe is in the best interest of their patient. In some counties in Texas, they have passed travel bans to prevent women from going to other states to receive care. These are the stakes. And we know how we got here. When Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as he intended, they did. And now more than 20 states have a Trump abortion ban. Now 1 in 3 American women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban, including Texas and every state in the South except for Virginia. And many of these bans are causing care to be denied until a woman is at death's door. Many have no exceptions, even for rape and incest, which is immoral.
Fuck, I don't remember what it's called.
And let us agree, one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do with her body. Not the government.
Darkest Dungeon reference. Death's Door.
If she chooses, she will talk with her priest, her pastor, her rabbi, her imam, but not the government and some people up in the state legislature telling her what's in her best interest when she knows what's in her own best interest.
Nice one, Vosh. Thank you. Just trying to do my job.
These same people, check this out. These same people who have argued that these Trump abortion bans are in the best interest of women and children, do look at their records. They tend to be in states with the highest rate of maternal mortality in the country. For decades, these extremist leaders who have neglected prenatal care, maternity care, and postpartum care, and who now, after continuously failing to support women and children, claim to care about women and children. Well, I have a question for them. Where you been? Where you been? Where you been when it comes to prioritizing care for women and children? Where have you been when it comes to helping pregnant women and new mothers? Where have you been when it comes to affordable child care? And do know, many of these same extremist leaders have also refused to extend the child tax credit, which lifted half of America's children out of poverty. They
Ought to
who
cut
have
them in
brought
half.
proposals to lower child care costs for working parents, they who have tried to...
Sorry, you know how ADHD is. You run out of things to talk about for a second, you lose interest. We've all heard the stump speech before. What I was saying earlier is that this does give me a little bit of hope, because I just feel like the campaign would not choose to put the rally here if their internals didn't look good enough. There is a kind of like downstream effect. Like a rally done in Texas is going to have some demographic overlap in terms of who benefits from it with, say, like New Mexico and Arizona, maybe Georgia. But for the most part, it's a Texas bit, which is like, you know, getting a stadium this, you know, this together, getting Beyonce, it I feel like they would have done this in Philly, right? Or they would have done it in Atlanta. You know? Beyonce's from Texas. I'm sure they could have gotten Beyonce to fly out if they needed her to. Could be a Hail Mary? Maybe. Maybe. Be nice to believe something good.
Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
As someone who watched his wife almost bleed to death because of conservative implemented laws,
I had to fight and beg to get care that I needed.
Because I wasn't permitted to have an abortion, I nearly died on their watch.
If I had not been able to go out of state to get an abortion in Colorado, my happy, healthy son, Henry, would not be here today.
They took 2 liters of infected fluid from my abdomen, and the infection was so severe that I almost died.
I was to stay pregnant and deliver a baby that would suffocate in my arms.
On the Roe v. Wade, I did a great thing.
From his own mouth, a great thing. There is nothing great about what happened to women like Kate Cox, who was heartbroken to learn her much wanted pregnancy was not viable, heartbroken when her doctors told her if she remained pregnant, she would be risking her own life or her ability to have children in the future. But the Attorney General of Texas threatened if Kate's doctors helped terminate her pregnancy, they would be criminally prosecuted. So Kate was forced to flee the state to get the care she needed. In Louisiana, Caitlin Joshua was turned away from not 1, but 2 emergency rooms while miscarrying. She was bleeding. She was in pain. But because of a Trump abortion ban, doctors would not treat her. Because if they did, they would have faced 15 years in prison. And so Caitlin had to go home where she went through the pain of a miscarriage for more than a month, and trying the whole time to hide her pain from her 4-year-old daughter. We know that women have died because of Trump abortion bans. Here today is Shanette Williams, the mother of Amber Nicole Thurman, a vibrant, we must speak her name, Amber Nicole Thurman.
She is cooking right now. I'm surprised. This is how she talks at all her rallies. She's a fine, you know, like, speaker at rallies. If we lose to Trump, Jesus Christ, it's a solid 50-50, I'd say. Listen, of course it's 50-50. It either happens or it doesn't, you know?
Her as more than a statistic, so that we remember Amber was a daughter, a sister, a mother, and that she was loved, and that she should be alive today. And listen, we're all here because we know the reality is, for every story we hear about the suffering because of a Trump abortion ban, there are so many stories we've never heard and untold number of women and the people who love them who are silently suffering, women who are being made to feel as though they did something wrong, as though they are criminals, as though they are alone. And to those women I say, and I think I speak on behalf of all of us, we see you and we are here with you. Texas, what is happening across this state and our country is a healthcare crisis. And Donald Trump is the architect of it. He brags about overturning Roe v. Wade. In his own words, quote, "I did it and I'm proud to have done it." That's what he says. And one has to ask, proud that women are dying? Proud that doctors and nurses could be thrown in prison for life for administering life-saving care? Proud that young women in America today have fewer rights than their mothers and grandmothers? How dare he? Donald Trump even said everyone wanted Roe v. Wade to be overturned. Well, a woman in Ohio was arrested and charged after having a miscarriage. So was a woman in South Carolina. They didn't want this. Hadley Duvall, who became pregnant after being raped by her stepfather when she was 12 years old. She didn't want this. Ryan Hamilton, who is here tonight, his wife was denied treatment at the hospital for...
You know how the Democrats get into the weeds on the consequence of Roe v. Wade? Why don't they do this with the consequences of Trump's proposed tariffs? Like, they should literally be doing like, hey, this is how much your meals cost now. This is how much they'll cost after. Like, hey, you know, like, this is what he's talking about. This is ruinous. And the most they say about it is like a bunch of economists agree that it would be a tax on the American people. Like, they don't get into that on its own isn't enough. Like, the policy doesn't matter. You have to like get into it. You know?
Rights have been taken. I see the men here. And I thank you. The men of America don't want this. And now the Attorney General of Texas is suing the United States government so that Texas prosecutors can check this out, so that Texas prosecutors can get their hands on private medical records of women who leave the state to get care. Now, I'd ask everybody here, please do see the irony, okay? Listen to this. On the one hand, Donald Trump won't let anyone see his medical records. I gave up mine. And on the other hand, they want to get their hands on your medical records. Simply put, they are out of their mind. In just 4 years as president, Donald Trump was able to erase half a century of hard-fought progress for women. And now he wants to go even further. He will force all 50 states to track and report on women's miscarriages and abortions, and go after access to contraception and IVF treatment. It's right there in his Project 2025. Google it.
I remember that Biden tweet.
And let us be clear, if Donald Trump wins again, he will ban abortion nationwide. And though we are in Texas tonight, I say it to the folks who might be watching from home, for anyone watching from another state, know this: if you think you are protected from Trump abortion bans because you live in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Nevada or New York or California, or any state where voters or legislators have protected reproductive freedom, please know, no one is protected if there is a Trump national abortion ban, and it will outlaw abortion in every single state. Understand that. And he can do it with or without an act of Congress. All that to say, Elections matter. Elections matter. If Donald Trump is...
God Christ. I'm sorry, 1 second, wait. I want to juxtapose what we're listening to right now with Trump rhetoric. Which will resonate with the voters more?
They're coming in from the Middle East. The Congo, that's a hot place right now. A lot of people coming in from prisons in the Congo. They're coming into our country. It's not even believable, actually, when you think. You know, you're standing up here, you're saying this stuff, John Barrasso, but you're saying this, and you say to yourself, you know, is it even believable? It's sort of like, actually, in a smaller way, but still very important, men playing in women's sports. Who would want that? But, you know, 10 years ago, you would never say that. And then you have the transgender operations all over the place. And you're saying this, and you have parental guidance, and we want our child to be parentally guided. And you have to make apologies for the fact that they're not, but they're going to be, and we're going to bring that back. We want our parents.
All right, that's our 50-50 coin flip race for you. That or this?
President again, he will likely get to appoint at least one additional Supreme Court justice. Remember who we appointed. Call her Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Choose, Western man.
But if he were reelected, he'd probably get to appoint one, if not two, members to the United States Supreme Court, at which point Donald Trump will have packed the court with 5 out of 9 justices on that court who will sit, but think about that, who will sit for lifetime appointments, shaping your lives and the lives of generations to come. And that is among the many critical contrasts in this election. Look, Donald Trump doesn't trust women, but I do. We trust women, and we understand what's at stake.
I don't.
And with Colin Allred in the United States Senate, when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom, I will proudly sign it into law as President of the United States. Proudly. Proudly. So to all the friends here, let us remember, momentum is on our side. I know sometimes in Texas, folks are like, is it worth it? Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. You are making a difference, and momentum is on our side.
It does not feel that way at all.
You are making a difference. Since Roe was overturned, every time reproductive freedom has been on the ballot, from Kansas to California to Kentucky, in Michigan, Montana, Vermont, and Ohio, the people of America have voted for freedom every time it's been on the ballot. And often they have voted by overwhelming margins from so-called red to so-called blue states, proving this is not a partisan issue. Because Americans from all backgrounds and beliefs understand the decision of whether, when, and how to build a family is one of the most consequential decisions anyone can make. And we are fighting for an America where no matter who you are, where you live, you can make decisions about your own body for yourself. So moving forward, all of this is to say, reproductive freedom is on the ballot in this presidential election. And in 10 states around the country, including Arizona, Florida, and Nevada. And with the work of everyone here, freedom will win. Freedom will win.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
And so I want to take a moment to speak in particular to all the young
Curious,
leaders here and
Avadillalun.
across America. Do we have anybody here from Gen Z?
Nah, millennial, technically.
Where you at?
Spiritually, my generation is internet brain poison. So I kind of follow along the curve.
I'm counting on you because the thing I love about you
To hawk
is you
two
are
of the polls.
impatient for change. You know it ain't right that you may have fewer rights than your mother or your grandmother. You know it is not theoretical. You know it is not political. It is your lived experience. And I see you, and I see your power. I see your power. And I know so many of you are voting for the first time. Can I see a raise of hands? Can we applaud our leaders who are voting for the first time?
I'm pretty sure Skibbity Toilet's more of a Gen Alpha thing.
All right, we heard it for our young leaders. That's right. So listen, to everyone here, we know freedom has never come easy.
Now, hawk
Never
two
come
of.
easy. There has been no moment of our
That's a
progress
millennial
as
and
a
Gen X
country
thing.
that did not come about without a
Don't
fight.
appropriate our culture.
Let's all be clear about that. And we are in the midst of a movement. And everyone here is a leader in that movement. So we do this then remembering those who came before us, those who struggled and sacrificed for our freedoms, who found fellowship and even joy in one another in the fight. They found strength and hope in fighting for our ideals. And that is what we are doing. That is what we are doing because we know weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So Texas, election day is in 11 days. Early voting has already begun. So now it is time to start making your plan. Go to iwillvote.com to get all the information you need. And it is not only the presidency that is on the ballot. There are many important races, including Colin Aldred running for Senate, who we must note his opponent supported a national abortion ban 6 times. An opponent who said he does not support exceptions even for victims of rape and incest. So let's remember, Texas, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. So today I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we trust women? Do we believe in reproductive freedom? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you and God bless America.
Cue the DMCA music? No? There it is. All right, well, the only thing that I really have to say about this is that I hope this is genuinely a sign of confidence and of better internal information and not just a Hail Mary, you know? Because honest to God, right now, absent that internal info, I'd give it a solid 60-40 in favor of Trump. The news has not been good.